Okay, now we're going on to part 3 of Radio 1's idiot video trying to expose me, he says, as a two-faced fraud and overnight racist, where his belief is because I haven't put out a video until 2 years ago that I never studied before that. Now, if we put a mirror up to him and say, well, so you didn't study before you made your first video? Yeah, see how pathetic this is? See how they can't even cognate logic? Yeah, they don't, they just talk like they're in the open sphere of space there. So here he goes yipping about my coral videos again. I don't want to go into too many of them, but y'all can go definitely look at them. Some of the more exotic corals and fish from around the world.
Get off into it.
We do not want a stupid, idiot West African primitive to try to speak on Africa if he's going to try to say he was king because he was...
Yeah, this is funny. That was where I keep pausing after he says something and then I say something back. He says he doesn't want me to talk about Africa and that I'm not allowed to be talked about Africa. And I tell him that he's not going to running anything except for his mouth, which has doo-doo coming out of it. And that he has no bearing on anything. He's an idiot. And that no one cares. And that everyone knows that West African primitives didn't build the pyramids, regardless whatsoever. So even if one day somehow I figured out that black people were in Egypt, they would not have ever been related to Negroids from West Africa. But what's been proven is they were never even allowed into Africa really through a long period of time, and Nubians will never be called Egyptians. That would be foolish, like your so-called African Americans to designate. Let's continue.
It's not.
Okay? So he's talking junk about primitives, West Africa, kings, and all that.
Yep, y'all were not kings, and y'all were from West Africa. You aren't part of the Bible, or Egypt, and all that.
But let's go to his video, his first video, okay, after showing lagoons. Okay?
Yeah. Alright, keep with me here. Get to the content. Look at the mouth, comes out the butt. If you eat food and grab up, what's going to tell us? That's a donut genius. Food goes in the mouth, comes out the butt. Food goes in the butt, comes out the mouth. Food goes in the mouth.
Or showing fish tanks.
Yeah, aquariums and fish
tank
tanks.
Expert. He's not even an expert in that.
Oh, I'm multifaceted, Negro. You seem to be single-faceted and fascinated, and on white people and white people's history and cultures as you wear that same damn shirt and sit up against the wall and just talk crap against white people. But yeah, I'm very multifaceted. You and three actual careers out of this in my life, and during those times I always had side things going on. I always had fish aquariums and everything, and found out that over the time of me studying it too, I became very knowledgeable and ran a fish store for quite some long time, and I was even famous in Korea. But what does he have on that? He has no clue. He doesn't know anything about saltwater fish and the corals. So then that all of a sudden means that I never did study ancient Egyptians or the Middle East. And then somehow, if I don't have videos out before that date, I never studied. So he never studied before he put a video out? I mean, how does this work mentality? I'm confused. Or no, wait, he's confused. Yeah, that's it.
So, yes, here it is. Here is the face of Neptune's Lagoon. Look at it, Neptune's Lagoon. Here is the face of him.
No, that's the face of what I showed is Zeus. Upside down actually looks like an alien head, and even though he pulled it down out of screen, you can still kind of see it. And what I showed is that when I flipped my tablet, that it actually showed Zeus upside down, and there for a second it looked like an alien head. And I was like, whoa. So I put a little piece out of that. Now, of course, what he's saying is this is my first video, and this isn't at all. I just showed you that earlier. This was a segment that I used to take and attach together. Yeah, the video editor used to let you take and throw segments in. And so I would do segments where I'm talking, and then a picture, and a segment, and a picture, and a segment, and a picture. And it just seemed kind of stupid, and it's not really about me. And man, there's so much I could do if I just faced the camera at the pictures and kept talking about the pictures because it's not about me. And that's all that's really about.
There he is.
There I am, fresh after a haircut. And I think that's fresh after a haircut. That's terrible. It doesn't really look like me. The light's shining down so much, it gives me that weird glow. If it went from the bottom side, I'd be like telling you spooky ghost stories. And yeah, I don't know. Does that look like a 54-year-old man? Anyhow, also the camera has to be just pointing right up my nose. Why couldn't it be more level off to me? But he had to pick that little segment there off of it. But yeah, so that's me, you know, that's me.
Look at that, Mr. Fake Nice Guy.
Oh, it's not fake nice guy. I'm a real nice guy until you yell racist stuff. You go through all my other videos, and I'm talking just like I'm talking now, and stuff, you know. And sometimes I even get a little more melancholy. I have a sweep through my emotions. My emotions are not I'm either asleep or I'm yelling and hating Whitey. Blacks can't seem to understand that Caucasians can go through a sweep of emotions and not actually react upon it really, but just show it outwardly as a thing and have it not really like make me chimp out, but just show different things. And of course, you know, I'm rubber and your glue, bounce off me, sticks to you. So whenever he starts yapping, I'll yap back, and then he'll yap, 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 and I'll go up there and go yap, yap, yap and stuff and make fun of him. Sure as hell, why the hell not? So yeah, so he shows this as being some type of proof that I don't, I never studied. I don't understand. If I never made a video, I never studied. So YouTube is the only place you find it. People that study make videos. That's it. So, you know, yeah. So Einstein didn't know anything before he made a video. And he's saying he didn't know anything before he made a video. Is that what he's saying? Let's go.
Okay? And look what kind of person he is.
Forehead, maybe shit like that.
Look at what kind of person he is. Yeah, I'm a Caucasian, and I'm explaining in the video how whenever you look at it, there's a dent in Zeus's forehead. And when you flip it over, that ends up coming out to being like a slit for an alien's mouth, and it looked funny. And of course, this was actually me debunking that. So, big freaking deal. It was really like, hey, you know, look at this. People say they see Jesus in a piece of toast. Look what I found here. It's just a small segment that I throw in one of my UFO debunking videos from way back. But, so what else has he got, man? What else has he got?
This was his second video.
Oh, he does. Looks like your DSL ain't working. You must be working on that shit from old days. Your little 14.4 baud can't get going. Okay. All you had to do was hit play, man. It didn't work for you.
Just give me a minute here.
Skip it, baby. Skip it, baby.
Yes, here we go. Now pay attention.
Yeah, this is one I did about Adonis, Dumuzi, Tammuz, Attis, Bacchus, and more, all being the same entity from different people. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not going to show my face doing it, but I tell you what, let's go with this here. Let's see, what do you have after that, man? Do you have anything? By the way, that was a segment for another video.
Who in the hell are you?
You don't know who I am. Well, who am I? I'm a guy that's been studying and researching ancient cultures for damn near all my life, and I kind of have some insight to a few things that a lot of people don't have, especially if you're just a commoner who has been taught what you think is at school and what people kind of allow you to believe, and what that twist of thoughts might, in your own mind, get an idea of what went on. And then when you look back at ancient Sumerians and things and all the Proto-Indo-Europeans and where things came from, it becomes a quite different issue. Yeah, things like the Silk Road and all this type of stuff that really weren't in play before. And then like in Egypt, where they kind of act a little mysterious about it now, but it's because they're covering up the fact that the current population is really not kind of related to the older population that was there. In fact, genetics shows it. And I think we all knew that that happened in the Ottoman Empire and everything, but people nowadays want to just go, oh, okay, so the people there now were the people then, and it's like, no. And in fact, look at these mummies. They have blonde and red hair. Genetics said they hook up to Anatolia and early Proto-Indo-European farmers that had come down. And so I've showed videos where I show you all these Proto-Indo-European farmers lately, and now I'm showing you where they're coming down into there. Yep, so I'm putting things together and stuff, and not just sitting around yelling and yapping and making a fool of myself, trying to get West African primitives, or what used to be West African primitives, into believing a lie, which they take and get all mad about racistly, like somebody took something away from them, and they never had it. It was never part of them. They're not part of Egypt or the Bible. So don't get mad. Just realize the reality of it and quit acting a fool. He still didn't clean off that lens.
Are you that fake, low down, dirty, rotten, radical racist that we see now?
That's who you
or
are.
Are you this goody two shoes, friendly Christian?
I'm both of them, but he apparently didn't watch any of my videos. I'm not what you would call a Christian. I'm a realist and a realityist and stuff, and neither one of those people that you saw the videos of are dirty, low down, and racist. That's what that person is, and I'm exposing it, and he does not like that at all.
But I know what but I can tell you what you are.
I can tell you what you are.
Fake,
You're a fake, a fraud, and a phony.
That's what you really are.
That's
yes.
what you are, yes.
So we pretty much see here that Neptune's Lagoon is an overnight scholar and an overnight racist. Yet.
So what we see here is a man who, if you take his own BS here, that he tries to go with this logic, it doesn't work. It's a definite fallacy of logic. I guess he didn't take logic in college like I did too, but let's go with this. So his idea is that he never studied before he made a video, and therefore he's a deluded racist who doesn't have any academia behind him. Right. But he doesn't know what I know. He doesn't know what I've studied in any way, shape, or form. But he says to discount that, I only started putting videos out 2 years ago. So he never studied before he made a video. He can't justify the logic trying to come out that brain now. You can see him staring off there, a little kind of like.
Yes. And I'm going to show on a video that he made about me that he has the truth right in front of his face.
Show me.
And because he's a novice, he can't accept it.
Novice. Can't accept it. Can't accept the truth, that's for sure.
But yeah, I'm not going to be too long on this. But let's go here, okay?
Crapping out your mouth. Crapping out your mouth.
He's talking about Ethiopia.
Yep. Check this out. Now, he's going to debunk himself right here. Right here, he shows it. He says, I show fake, and it's right in front of my face. Check this. Check the logic out here. Every brown spot in this map is actually where they claim Ethiopians are in elder days. And so the truth of reality here is that what we call a country, Ethiopia now, is not what they were referring to in the Bible or in the Greeks that made up the name. And now there's people living in a country they call Ethiopia, but the makeup there isn't the people that used to be there at all. Let's watch him expose himself as he thinks he's exposing me.
Sunburnt face.
Yeah, sunburnt face. Negroes don't get sunburned.
Look at that.
Look at that.
The brown ain't got nothing to do with Ethiopia.
So he says brown ain't got nothing to do with Ethiopia, but I'm on the definition of Ethiopians. See, it's why I turn the camera around this way. It's because I'm showing you something. I'm showing you the definition of Ethiopian, and he can't stand it. And actually, it's truth and fact. They don't know sub-Saharan Africa even existed at that time. You can see it right plainly here on the way this map looks. Of course, he tries to discount that and go, Herodotus never made a map. No, this is the map they compiled off all of it and the way that he described everything. Europe's not drawn correctly, and India doesn't have a point down on the bottom of it. But that wasn't described either. This is the way it is. And also, he describes the Nile coming over and reaching the Atlas Mountains. And in Herodotus' map, it says Atlantes right there. Yeah, and he tells you these Ethiopians are here. Now, where I'm pointing at with my pointer there, which I'm on top of right now, is where Ethiopia is now, right, people? And he tries to put his finger on it here in a minute, but that's where it is. Well, they say that Macrobians live there. They're Caucasian people. They're tall and beautiful, and they live long lives. Doesn't say they're Negroids in any way, shape, or form. So now we get an idea of the Horners of Africa. And if you do this yourself, go to Wiki and just look up Caucasian race, and it'll tell you the Caucasians were everywhere. This whole map is Caucasians. It's amazing. Let's go.
It's recently been renamed from Abyssinia.
Abyssinia.
He made it up.
I made it up, not the people that made up the definition here. You can see the cognition skill of this black man, where he's going to try to discount me because I didn't make a video 2 years ago. This makes Ethiopia a different place now? No, this is the definition of Ethiopia, no matter what he tries to say about me. And it's pathetic for him to try this logic line. Do blacks fall for this? Do they? Let me know down in the comments if blacks fall for somebody pointing at a definition showing you that they're lying, and while they're lying, then they go, this is wrong, and then blacks go, oh, okay, that's wrong. The definition is wrong. Did they do that in their mind?
Got nothing to do with tan people.
It shows you they didn't even know sub-Saharan Africa existed whatsoever. Even though they had sent the Phoenicians to go all the way around, this is what they got out of it. That's strange, but look at all the brown over here. And yeah, there's other maps. Herodotus' map will show you over here. It says Eastern Ethiopia.
Look at that.
Yep.
No Ethiopians over there. Okay?
Oh my God, am I going to have to go to it? Here, let's do this real quick. I'm even going to edit this out. I'll just, let me find a place I can grab. So yeah, okay, so here's Ethiopia. Not going to let me go to it. There it is right there again. Definition, Ethiopia, where they all are, right in front of you again. Yeah, okay, let's go to something else here real quick. Let's just do this. Caucasian race. Caucasians. Caucasian race are European type people. Human beings, historically biological taxon populations of Europe. Look at that map. Western Asia, way over there. Yeah, so all of Yemen and everywhere, all the way over to the edge of India. Central Asia, above India, right in there, the Proto-Indo-Europeans we're talking about. South Asia, yeah, it includes India, but it doesn't have the bottom on it. North Africa, oh my God, it contains Egypt. What about that Horn area and that Ethiopia we're talking about? It's right here, like I was pointing at. What does it say? Caucasians in Horn. About, oh my God, that I think ends that one. What's there now is not what was there before. You start talking about Bantu expansions and stuff and everything. 3 major races, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid. He's a Negroid, not a Caucasian. He would have lived down in that brown part there, not up in the gray part, not in the blue, not in anywhere else on the map at all. And back in the old days, they thought that maybe the Islanders and Australians and stuff had something to do with black people. They don't. I show it in the video. Let's go one more thing here. Let's go to Google. I guess I should have just gone to images, but let's look up Herodotus' map. Again, so we're going to look at images of Herodotus' map. I've done this so many times, it's just kind of stupid to even have to go through something like this again. But so here's Herodotus' map. And what does it say when it shows Herodotus' map here? Well, it shows you that right there it says, just like I said, Eastern Ethiopians. Right? And they show you that Ethiopians are up here too, and around in here. It doesn't show it on this map, everything. This is the rest of it. But in that map a minute ago, it said there was Ethiopians living in the Caucasus Mountains. Caucasian Ethiopians. There's another definition that says Leuco-Ethiops. What is that? That's white Ethiopians. Well, if Ethiopians meant burnt skin, then how could it be white people and stuff? How does it make any sense? That's because it meant suntanned or burnt faces. Negroes don't get a suntan. Now we're looking quite pathetic, aren't we, Negro? Look, Ethiopia used to be called Abyssinia. It's not the same thing in any way, shape, or form as to what you're trying to put on it now. And so here he is exposing the fact that, oh, by the way, none of these Ethiopians have any relation